If you ask someone to name whereabouts in the world the majority of the Sonic fans are, chances are you'll get comments like Europe, the United States, and even Russia has a very large Sonic following within it. But one country that has a large and exceptionally loyal and passionate fan base is Brazil. Now, I'm sure we're all familiar with the fact that Brazil was still selling the Mega Drive and even Sega Master System well into the 2010s, but fans of Sega and Sonic in Brazil are large in number and equally as passionate to those in the rest of the world. In fact, check out some of these images from the Rio Carnival in 2014. Hundreds of fans dressed in Sonic costume for that event. And let's not forget, Brazilian Sonic fans who attended Brazil's Comic-Con experience in 2018 actually got to see the Sonic movie trailer well in advance of the rest of the world. Today, we're going to be talking about Brazil once again, because recently, Brazilian Sonic fans got to take part in a major Sonic movie promotional event, one which went very underreported in the rest of the world, which is a shame because it had some of the coolest promotional items for the film that I've ever seen. So grab your running shoes, because today we're going to take a look at the Sonic movie 5K Marathon. Ever since the 1990s, Sega consoles and games have been released in Brazil through the company Tectoy. They've had a long history with Sega, which continues to this day. Not just with selling Sega systems in Brazil, Tectoy are also responsible for organising huge promotional events and campaigns within that region. And to help promote the Sonic movie in Brazil, Tectoy, in cooperation with Paramount Pictures, decided to hold a series of 5-kilometer marathons, which would be held in different cities throughout that country. But these would not be a case of people just turning up to run in a simple race. They were large, carnival, party-like events with a range of activities and photo opportunities for people to get involved with. The organisers also made each race a bit of a team sport thanks to the use of some clever promotional incentives. So let's start by taking a look at those incentives and the events which were held at the carnivals themselves. When people registered to be a competitor in the marathon, they had a choice to race for either Team Sonic or Team Robotnik. They would then be allocated either a Sonic or Robotnik themed racing uniform. Participants for Team Sonic would receive a blue shirt featuring the silhouette of movie Sonic running out of a giant golden ring, along with the Sonic 5-kilometer marathon logo. They would also receive a blue hat, which featured a fully rendered movie Sonic image. Participants for Team Robotnik would receive a red t-shirt featuring Jim Carrey's Robotnik mustache, along with a giant golden ring, the Sonic 5K Marathon logo, and the same hat as Team Sonic participants, only this time, the hats would be coloured red. And participants for both teams had the chance to receive a medal, provided they actually physically completed the race. So this medal, it doesn't look that great in this render. It looks very basic and amazingly cheap. But we're going to come back to this one in just a few moments. On the morning of each event, when participants arrived for their race, they found a whole carnival of activities to take part in. One such activity was a form of hoopla, in which participants could throw a giant golden ring over various Sonic movie targets. I'm unsure if participants could actually win prizes from these events, but it seems likely since in a lot of the publicity photos from the events themselves, you can see a lot of racers actually carrying Sonic merchandise from the event itself. Another activity that participants could do was throw balls through holes cut into a banner. Again, I'm unsure if prizes were available, but it seems highly likely. Participants could also pose for photos against some elaborate set pieces, such as these giant golden arches, which were supposed to resemble the warp rings that Sonic runs through in the movie. It seems that these rings were also used as the start and exit points for some of the races which actually took place. Along with the archways, participants could also pose for a photo and have the opportunity for a professional photographer to take their picture. The pictures would then be available later via the Photop website. In fact, in this clip, you can actually see one of the professional photographers sat right in the middle of the race course taking pictures of the runners as they cross the finish line. No, I also don't think that's the best place for a photographer to sit either. There was also a very small Tectoy booth, which actually had some Tectoy Sega consoles set up for participants to play. And you might be thinking, hey, isn't that the Mega Drive Mini? Nope. That is a tech toy Sega Mega Drive. It's a re-release of the original Mega Drive from the 90s. The games are stored via an SD card, and it's still one of the best-selling systems in Brazil to this day. And if you think that's crazy, how about this? There's also a tech toy Sega Master System 3 setup, a console which was exclusive to Brazil, which is actually still on sale right now. As someone who lives in Europe, it seems crazy that an event which was held in 2020 actually has playable Master Systems and Mega Drives, which are not part of some kind of mini plug-and-play retro console revival craze, but actual serious consoles online with Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s. There was also a small merch stand which sold some t-shirts, notebooks, and even a few unique Sonic movie posters, but one of the more interesting parts of this carnival was the Sonic movie mascot. Now, we've yet to talk about the Sonic movie mascot properly on this channel. The footage and pictures you're looking at now is the costume which has appeared at a few events in America and Japan, but the one at the 5K Marathon event in Brazil is a completely different costume. It's still the official Sonic movie mascot costume. We're going to talk about the differences of this costume in a future video, but aside from the photo opportunities, the mascot helped lead a warm-up before the race with the various participants, even posed for some really odd photo opportunities, including this one where it's laid on the floor. It's extremely rare to ever see a Sonic mascot costume laid down like this due to a risk of damage, and Eggman is different. But with the warm-ups over, it was time for the race. All 3 of them. Yes, that's right. Despite being advertised as one single 5K marathon, there were actually 3 different races held at this event. One was the full 5K marathon, which was held for professional runners, and then there was a 5K fun run, which for some reason began with the organisers spraying blue smoke at the racers. I cannot see how that's healthy. And there was also a 2-kilometer walk for those who just didn't want to run. The finish line was constructed below several golden arches, which gave you the feeling of running through the warp rings which appeared in the Sonic movie. And remember those medals that were promised when you finished the race? How they didn't look so great? Well, they were here, and they looked... oh my god! These look amazing! The medals looked stunning. The medals are apparently very sturdy and very heavy. They're also very well made, and me personally, I think the image of Sonic on them looks great for what these are. I'd love to get my hands on one of these someday. Sadly, they were only given out to participants who physically completed the race, but what an incredible piece of Sonic movie merch. Something tells me that these will become very much in demand in the years to come, just like the trophies. Oh yes, surprise! There are also trophies awarded in each race, so I don't know what these are made of, but again, they look fantastic. I've seen similar trophies given out at conventions for different events, but for free prizes, they look amazing. And again, all of this stuff is official Sonic movie merchandise, which you cannot get unless you not only participate in the race, but also win in a specific category. So I mentioned earlier that there was a competitive element to this race, with the Team Sonic and Team Robotnik kits. Well, it seemed that Team Sonic won. If you've been paying attention to the photos and footage used so far in this video, you'll probably notice that the number of participants who picked Sonic completely dominated the races. There's barely anyone wearing the Team Robotnik racing uniform in all of the events. In fact, across the different cities and across every single race, those wearing the blue Sonic shirts completely dominate the course. So that's almost everything that I can say regarding this event. It really did look like a fun day's activity, and those medals were worth the participation alone. I'd love to take part in this race if it ever did come to my town. Unfortunately though, it looks like this marathon is just going to be limited to Brazil, but there were, however, multiple marathons which were held across the country. The first event was held on February 8, 2020 in Sao Paulo. The second was in Rio de Janeiro on March 8th, and the third was held at Belo Horizonte around the Center Milas shopping mall. The fourth was due to be held at the Parque Ecológico in Donning on March 22nd, 2020. Well, it would have done, except it got cancelled. Yes, unfortunately, due to the global pandemic that's currently going going on, this event actually got cancelled, making this Sonic movie promotional event having the unfortunate title of being the first ever official public Sonic event to be cancelled due to the 2020 global coronavirus outbreak. Oh dear. But with the cancellation of that final event, there's an overhanging question. What happened to all the medals that were made for the final marathon? The marathon was cancelled so close to the actual race itself that the medals must have been manufactured, and they must still exist somewhere in hundreds, if not thousands of different units. Like I said earlier, I'd love to get my hands on one of these medals someday, and if they ever turn up online somewhere, or if anybody can help me get one, please let me know. The final thing I can say about this overall is that I'm truly amazed that events like this are just not more common. Sonic is a character who's known for running really fast, yet we rarely see Sonic-themed running events, or any kind of Sonic-themed fitness events for that matter. The only example of an official Sonic racing-themed event that I can think of is the Run Sonic Run Marathon, which I covered on this channel last year. See the link in the video description if you'd like to learn more about that one. Well anyway, did anyone here actually take part in this marathon? Did you actually finish the race and get a medal? And did I miss anything out? Because it's very hard to find information about this one. Please fill in the blanks in the comments if you know something about this event which I don't, or that I didn't cover. Anyway guys, for those who didn't take part, if a Sonic themed marathon or racing event ever came to your town, would you grab your running shoes and hit the track? Please let me know. In fact, if you want the Sonic movie marathon or a Sonic racing event to come to your town, flood the comments with "Sega, I've got my shoes on, I'm ready!" See you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this episode of Badnik Mechanic. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to smash that like button and click the subscribe and bell notification button to keep up to date with future episodes and to join the Badnik army. Please consider supporting the channel and the work I do by joining my Patreon or by leaving a one-off coffee donation tip. Links to do so are in the video description. And you can also continue the adventures by following me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. But most of all, just thank you for taking the time out to watch this video and to enjoy the work I do. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you.